Hello everyone and welcome to an extra special episode of Satsuhime's Grand Adventure. As you all know, today is Christmas, and to get into the holiday spirit I have decided to participate in this year's Final Fantasy Starlight celebration. This event will be hosted at the amphitheater in Gridania, the very same place I was honored by the Elder Seer. To get things started we needed to head over to the adorable Mikote who would be hosting the event. When I approach her she gives me a very warm and cheer-filled welcome. But soon after informed me that the festivities have yet to begin due to unexpected delays, and deciding on a theme for this year's events. This indecision has created several more problems and created a much higher demand for helpers to keep up with the workload. They had been enlisting the help of children and adventurers alike to help out and was wondering if I could lend a hand. And because the holiday season is a time for sharing and helping out your fellow man, I say hell yeah, sign me the fuck up cat lady. Before she began to lay out the deets, two more people approach us. One called the Saint of Nimia. The other called Comlito Holito. A Lalafel who seems to be in a very pissy mood despite the festive season. He seems to think that the Starlight festivities are a waste of time and money and that presents are just worthless trinkets given to naive fools to help them escape their mundane existence. He believes that the money and time is better spent investing in things that will improve the quality of their daily lives. He is apparently a wealthy noble from the Sultanate in Ulda, that was sent to help with the festivities. Although not by choice. He initially proposed that they do away with the festival and turn it into something that could contribute more directly to the economic prosperity of the people and the realm as a whole. Which to be honest isn't exactly a bad argument. Seems his heart is in the right place, he just doesn't understand the point of the festivities to begin with. And with my newfound jolly demeanor, it's gonna be my job to show this little douche what Starlight is all about. After that conversation, an adorable Alazan child enters the conversation, excited by the news that if she helps with the Starlight celebration she could receive presents as a reward via the Twinkle box. For every task you perform you get to open a section of the box. An incentive they created to entice more people to help out with the festival. The contents of the box were just the start, because you get an even better prize if you complete all the tasks. The child is very excited about this news and says she will help as much as she can until Starlight, because she has to help her parents that day. For our first task, we were told to speak to her colleague stationed before the water wheel. And with that, the Starlight preparation had begun. Speaking to the Starlight celebrant we find out that we need to remove some decorations that were put up by the angry little Lalafell earlier. Apparently, some of his choices were inappropriate for the current festivities and need to be removed. For some reason, the little grump thought that jack-o'-lanterns and Easter eggs would properly represent the Starlight celebration. Obviously, he was wrong. No matter though, because his fuck-up was our gain, because we completed the first task with very little effort. And head back to the amphitheater to inform the boss lady. We fill her in on what happened and she thanks me and apologized on Comlito's behalf for the extra work he created. She does seem to have faith in him finding his Starlight spirit before long though. For some reason. She allows us to open up the first slot in the Twinkle box and proceeds to give us our next task. Before that though, she informs me that people across Eorzea have heard that I have been participating in helping with the festivities, so they sent letters to thank me that I can read after each task I complete. With that in mind, I proceed on with the next task at hand. And you guessed it. The salty little shrimp fucked up again. So we have to go clean up his mess. I head out of the amphitheater to meet up with the adorable little elephant so we can go do the job correctly. I told her I would meet her there though because I just realized that despite my new jolly outlook, I didn't look the part at all. So I popped over to the market to spend way too much gil on some festive Starlight attire. Once I was appropriately dressed, we went off to go fix that idiot's shoddy work. This time it was the snowman. For whatever reason he seemed to think that the snow people facing the opposite direction was somehow preferable to, I don't know, the fucking obvious decision. So I and the little elephant fix it. After we were done the little twerp makes an appearance, and has the nerve to brag about the job he just finished with the presents that quite frankly look like a toddler did it, and dared to say that hopefully one day we could work as efficiently as he does. I say to him that it's clear now to me how he works so quickly and he instantly gets offended, and tells me we are lucky a person as esteemed as he is deigned to assist with such menial tasks. And at this point, I'm ready to roast his ass over an open fire. He claims that in a just world he would be calling the shots, and I would be assisting him. And before I could get my hands around his annoying little neck, the little lady jumps in to scold him. She tells him he has no idea what he's doing and that I have been cleaning up his messes, and that I understand the true meaning of Starlight much better than he does. She continues by asking him if he even cares about making others happy, or even being happy himself. She also notes that he has not smiled once since he got here. He gets pissed, claiming he came to do a job and tries to play the grown man card, but she wasn't taking that shit. She said it does not matter if she's a child, because she will put more smiles on people's faces than he ever could. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, damn son. I'm glad I didn't choke his ass, because this was much more entertaining. He then tries to dismiss her claims by claiming that Starlight is only about presents, and offers her some money. At this point, I'm hoping she chokes him. But instead, she declines his offer and storms off. The saint shows up to vocalize his displeasure, and sends me off to the boss lady to report the work I did. Apparently what the girl said struck a chord, because after everyone else had left, Carmelito did some self-reflecting. I head back to the cat lady to fill her in, and she allows me to open another section of the twinkle box. I received another thank you letter and decide to give the two I received so far a read. The first from the Adventurers Guild in Limsalominsa. The second seems to come from Mother Mione. After reading them and getting reinvigorated by their warm wishes, I prep for the next task. The cat tells me it's thanks to my help we may be able to start the festivities much sooner than anticipated. But there is still more work to be done. Sulking, the shrimp seems to blame himself for the situation. But he pretends he didn't say anything and we make preparations to set up the tree. We head over to the splendiferous Starlight celebrant to find out what the problem was. And she said upon inspecting the tree she noticed there were gnaw marks near the base and was concerned it could cause a safety issue. She requested I go enlist a skilled carpenter to come and assist. And out of nowhere Carmelito volunteers to go inspect the other trees of his own volition. Seems the little Ellison really got to him. I go retrieve the carpenter and they offer to investigate the situation. While I was gone though, apparently Carmelito thoroughly inspected all of the trees in the area and reported there were no signs of teeth marks on them. The celebrant mentions that although he seems to be a bit of a sourpuss, she was impressed at how seriously he was taking the job. She says he mentioned that he was heading right back to the amphitheater after finishing up and that she didn't even get a chance to thank him, and asked me to do so for her. She should have met this little douche a few hours ago. He has changed quite a bit since then. Anyway. Returning to the amphitheater I find Carmelito focusing intently on a small snow person. He seemed to be brainstorming on how best to decorate it. I call him out on his recent behavior and he impulsively denies it. Then fesses up and tells me what's on his mind. Apparently, he's been unhappy with his performance and concluded that not only is he not making kids happy, but he's also making himself miserable. He says he will not lose hope though, and will continue to work hard. He also noticed that the little Ellison was looking at the snowman recently and he can't help but think that he could do more to make it more appealing. I leave him to figure that out while I go retrieve my next reward and quest. The cat lady once again is surprised by Carmelito's sudden change, but who cares about that fool? It's reward and letter time. I grab my reward, read my letter, this time from Momodi and Alda, and after that it's time for new tasks. This next one seems to be fairly important, so I put on my serious face and head over to Apkaloo Falls. Turns out that the snowmen in the area are kept from melting by using sorcery. By using eternal ice shards, the snowmen won't melt in the event of unpredictably warm weather. So yeah. Apparently that is a thing. And it's actually pretty cool. So I go to get the job done. After I am finished, the little Ellison shows up and asks me if there is anyone I will be spending Starlight with this year. I told her I have an idea and that pumps her up to finish the preparations. As usual, we head back to the amphitheater and grab the final quest. But first, we should check on Carmelito. Approaching Carmelito I notice that he is speaking with the little Ellison and he seems to have built the little snowman a friend. The little Ellison is pleased and asks to build yet another one. He agrees, and tells me to go on ahead. And I gladly do so. It does the heart good to see those two get along. But you know what does the heart better? Rewards. I retrieve mine and then Carmelito shows up. He says he needs more snowman decorations for the new snowman he and the little elephant just built. The cat lady then asks Carlito if he has finally found his Starlight spirit, and he says that he has. And that he used to see all this decorating as a trifling task beneath his stature. Which is a joke within itself. But he says seeing the twinkle in the little elephant's eyes showed him that he was part of something far greater than he had ever imagined, and it opened his eyes to what the real purpose is to all of this. And that's bringing about cheer and happiness. Furthermore, if he does not have those things in his own heart, the experience becomes hollow and pointless. He did however mention though that this realization has made him feel consumed by the responsibility of the task, which is why he's being such a perfectionist. But the cat lady reassures him that there is still plenty of time for him to finish his tasks, and that our job is almost complete. I head over to check out the new letter I got from the Admiral, and then get ready for the final task. First off, I was to retrieve some wreaths from the Botanist Guild. Upon returning with the wreaths, I discovered that the elephant child had really been having a rough time as of late. Apparently, her father is very ill and her mother is working around the clock to care for him. And the reason the girl has been working so hard is that she wanted to make enough gil to be able to buy medicine for her dad. When I got back to the theater, Carlito was there requesting the ornaments for his snowmen. Then the saint shows up to give us more information about the girl's parents. The good news is the father has a very common illness. The bad is, because of that fact, the medicine is in high demand and hard to get. Carlito seems determined to repay back the girl's kindness and hard work with the festival, so he wants to do something extra special for her and her family and said that he will reach out to his associates to see what he could do about the medicine. He then requests that I finish up the remaining decorating on the snow people out front. Then he remembers that I have already collected all of the Twinklebox rewards and assumes that I will be taking my leave now for some reason. What the hell does he take me for? Some sort of monster who only does things for the promise of rewards and gil? Because that's exactly what I am. But not this time, because it's Christmas, goddammit, and on Christmas Satsuhime is a motherfucking saint. I will be seeing this thing to the end. Rewards be damned. I quickly head over to read my next letter, then get ready to wrap this Starlight event up. The last thing left to do is to decorate the mom and pop snow people, and the festivities could begin. Equipped with the knowledge that the dad is the dashing type who is rarely seen without his favorite hat, and the mom favors wearing matching patterns, I get to work. And in no time I decorated those snow people to absolute perfection. All parties involved seemed to be pleased with my work. Even little Carlito. But most importantly, the little Alazan was very excited to see the end result. She was overjoyed by the experience and was happy to be a part of it. She also apologized for not being able to stay to enjoy the festivities. But Carlito counters with an apology of his own for being such a shithead. He also presents her with the medicine he and the saint were able to acquire through their connections. And also brought news that the apothecary has recently found a way to more effectively mass-produce the remedy, and can help more people in need. Which is amazing, if not awfully convenient. To add icing on this already sickeningly sweet cake, they had taken the liberty of delivering a dose to her father in advance to increase the chances of her dad being able to make it to the Starlight festivities. Carlito learns that money is only a means to an end and has little value if not used to help people in need. The little girl works hard to bring holiday cheer to everyone and gets repaid in kind. And Satsuhime gets her brand new freaking mount, baby. Hell yeah. You thought I was serious about all that working for free crap? Hell no. This mount is freaking awesome, son. Okay, sorry about that, I got a little carried away. Anyway, Carlito says that when he gets back to Ulda he will dedicate his time and money to alleviate the plight of those less privileged than himself, and thus everyone lived happily ever after, or some shit like that. Thank you guys so much for watching my Christmas special. I really hoped you enjoyed it. This year has certainly been a crazy one for everyone, but I hope I was able to put a smile on your face today. This channel has been growing quickly lately, and I am very grateful for all of the love you guys have shown, and will show in the future. Merry Christmas everyone! And happy Starlight for all of my Final Fantasy friends. Enjoy your day guys. See you on the next one.